Hey, good morning, Santa Clarita. How you doing? Happy Friday. Happy long weekend Friday. Yeah, you are listening to KHTS, your hometown station, 98.1 FM and 1220 AM. This is SCVi and iLead School's Eye on the Valley. I am your host, Matt Watson. And again, welcome in and happy Friday. Can't say it enough. Yes, you know our show, Eye on the Valley. We are brought to you by SCVi and iLead Charter Schools. We are a network of charter schools with campuses in Castaic, Agua Dulce, Lancaster. We've got a fully accredited online school. We've got a home study program. You know what? We've got an educational setting and format no matter what your child's needs are. Visit us at iLeadSchools.org for more information on any of our schools, whether they're campus-based, hybrid, virtual, online, home study. Again, that's iLeadSchools.org. Check us out while you're perusing the website. Stay tuned with us. Listen to the show. We keep our eye on education here in Santa Clarita and across the nation. But like the show says, we keep our eye on the valley as well, keeping you abreast of everything that you need to know about what's going on here in the valley. And boy, has there been a lot going on in the valley lately. Gee, many Christmas. We've got a lot popping here in Santa Clarita. But, we also take a little bit of time to goof around and giggle, because they say that if you're not laughing while you're doing it, you probably shouldn't be doing it. You know, it gets me in trouble from time to time, but if you're not getting in trouble every once in a while, you're not trying hard enough. You know, I like to be the reason that HR makes new rules. But, with the show, we just came back from summer break a couple weeks ago. We really hit the ground running after summer vacation this year. Our first couple of shows were fantastic. Last week was really exciting. We debuted our new segment, College and Career Corner, where we're educating families all about the ins and outs of college and career preparation, selection, college admissions, and most important, college persistence. College persistence is one of those things they're measuring, because it's not enough just to get into college. You got to be able to stay. You got to be able to last in college, and so we're working with you so that your kids are prepared for both college and career. That's a segment that we do every month, and so we just started last week. We'll have one of our counselors in another few weeks. But if you missed that segment, you can catch it on our podcast on the KHTS website. That is hometownstation.com/podcasts, hometownstation.com/podcasts. You can check out last week's episode with College and Career Corner, or any of our previous episodes, again, on hometownstation.com/podcasts. But you know what? Don't sleep on this week's episode either. We've got a great show prepared for you today. Speaking of college readiness, producer Sarah is off today. She's dropping her youngest off at college this week. But before she left, she really did put together a fantastic show for us. In the first hour, we're going to be talking to Wendy Maxwell. She's the director of iLead Agua Dulce here on the east side of the Santa Clarita Valley. They just celebrated their first graduation a couple of months ago. That was super exciting. And now they're kicking off a new school year, and they have just not slowed down. They've got a lot of exciting new offerings going on for you and your kids this year. And then in hour number 2, we're going to be talking to two very inspirational leaders of the Veteran Services Collaborative, Jeff Stabile and Dennis Sugasawara. They've got a really cool event coming up that you can attend. And yes, because Mom says I gotta, we'll be putting my big brother on at the end of the show for Big T's 5 minutes of fame. He's got trivia, he's got fun facts, he's got all kinds of annoying tidbits, and somehow we all get through it together each week. So yeah, going to be a great show. As I mentioned, my first guest today is an absolutely amazing educator. She's starting her third decade of her stellar career. Wendy Maxwell graduated Bishop Alemany High School before attending Pepperdine University, go Waves, and then receiving her master's degree from the University of Laverne. She's got a passion for teaching and learning, and she is leading iLead Agua Dulce into a whole new era. Wendy, welcome back to Eye on the Valley.
Thanks, Matt. I'm glad to be here.
We're so glad to have you. Thank you again for joining us, Wendy. I just mentioned your vast experience, and it's amazing. You're heading into your third decade, or closing out your third decade in education. Incredible, being as how you're only 28, but you took over the leadership of iLead Agua Dulce a little bit more than a year ago, and leading the school through its very first high school graduation. Now you're into your second year. What have your impressions been as you've now settled in over the last year, and how do you find running an iLead school different from the traditional public schools that you've run?
I'm really super excited to start my second year. Last year was just a complete learning experience, and just obviously getting to know the learners, the parents, the community, what it was all about. I feel really great. I think we have a very solid staff. We're doing a lot of training in the areas of reading for the youngers, and making sure that their literacy piece is solid. And we're continuing with all of our normal, obviously, curriculum. It just, there's a different vibe this year, and it's probably a lot because I feel a little bit more comfortable in what I'm doing. And, there's just a lot of supportive people on our staff that I just am extremely proud to be a part of. So we're heading in such a good direction, and, there's bumps along the way, but that happens at every school each year. But I'm really feeling good about where we are.
Oh, yeah, fantastic. And where you are, like I said, is not slowing down at all. You've got several new initiatives that you're launching on your campus, and just continuing to grow the educational offerings there at iLead Agua Dulce. But before we get into that, can you just kind of set the background for us, for those who are not quite as familiar with iLead Agua Dulce? It's a pretty unique campus. Can you explain that statement to our listeners?
Yes, I can. Well, first and foremost, when it comes to the learners being just, I'll say, out on the playground, there's a lot of freedoms that they get. They're able to climb trees. I said it at a certain point. They definitely have a lot of freedom of running around campus. Obviously within the safety
Sure.
of them. We have animals on our campus, which is a amazing piece. The learners have animal science, and in that arena, they get to help to feed the animals. They learn about each animal and how they need to be taken care of. So we have a cow, we have pigs, we have chickens, we have a rooster, and goats, alpaca. So we have a variety of animals that they get to actually have a special each week to go and kind of just obviously take care of them and learn about them. We also have a garden where we have a full garden that we actually grow our own fruits and vegetables, so they obviously take care of that piece. That's another special that they are able to have. And also the makery, which learners, they begin firsthand mechanical skills and to be design thinkers, while also building like self-confidence, taking risk. They acquire the skills to use their leadership abilities to help their community and improve the world around them. It can be done in groups toward a common goal, or individualized with their own goal in mind. Entrepreneurship is always welcomed in the makery. We give accessibility to tools, materials, shop equipment, and guided support. We have a lot of additional, and then we have outside classroom for our littles, where they have all kinds of different play equipment. That they have balance beams and water play. So it's something like I've never seen in my yes, as you said, 30th year in education. It's a really, really fun campus.
It really is, and it's every time I walk onto your campus, it seems like you just light up and your blood pressure drops a little bit, and you're right about the kids. It's interesting. You know, you walk onto your campus during recess or lunchtime, and uh, as opposed to other campuses where you see kids, you know, they're on their iPad, they're on their phone, they're on, you know, they're playing their portable video games, things like that. You don't see that very much on your campus. Kids are climbing trees and they're playing, they're jumping here. And Wendy, they're kind of growing up like you and I grew up back in the day, aren't they?
Exactly.
It's
Exactly. A
yeah,
lot more freedom and not worry as to,
right.
kids getting hurt.
Right. You know, it was funny. Not long ago, I was on your campus and it started to rain. And I thought, okay, get the kids. No, the kids came outside because of the rain. It's like, all right, it's raining, let's play. But
Yes. Yes.
one of the things that really motivated me this year, for those folks that don't know, every year our organization iLead, and as I mentioned, we're a group of 6 charter schools. As an organization, we select a theme to act as sort of a guiding light and inspiration throughout the school year. So recently, we've had Higher, Swifter, Stronger built around the Olympics from last year, or Lead the Way. This year, we built our theme around the arts. We called it Create Your Masterpiece. And your campus took that theme just a few weeks ago and just really took off running. Can you share with us what you've got lined up in terms of arts education over the 2025-2026 school year built around our theme of Create Your Masterpiece?
Absolutely. We are super excited about this as well. In my prior experience, we had art residencies, and it was just so powerful and meaningful, and it was just such a nice additional enrichment for students. So we actually got in touch with the Music Center, and we are super excited. This is going to be a year long, and we're using our Prop 28 funds to do art residencies the entire school year. So there's going to be hip hop, there's going to be art, there's going to be, multiple modalities that they're going to be going through for basically the elementary level. And then the middle school is actually taking on their own art program. So we are providing those supplies, and they're going to be doing their own little section, and then also and it has to. And then the high school is working on history of rock and I'm blanking right now, but they're doing 2 pieces as well. So each span of grade levels are going to be doing something different, but it lasts through the entire school year instead of being in pieces. And then we're going to add some assemblies as well for kids for the entire campus.
I love that idea of bringing artist residents on campus and having those experts teach your kids about, especially those finer arts. You know, when the economy gets tight and the state starts to cut educational funding like they do sometimes, oftentimes schools will look to cut their arts programming first. But we are so thankful to the voters who passed Proposition 98 a couple of years ago, making the arts a priority. Wendy, why is arts education and creativity so key to learning? Because it's not just about those few kids that may become an artist or a musician, is it?
No, not at all. Not at all. There is proven research that art education, improves grades, test scores. There's the participation in the arts develops critical thinking, problem solving, creative skills. And it all integrates with our core subjects. Right. In every single subject that we teach, you're able to bring art in a different way, and it deepens the understanding. It makes learning more effective, more fun. Not just being direct taught. You can use, the drama, the theater, the performing arts, all of it to not only grow grades but improve behavier. Kids are engaged. They have better confidence. It's a win-win no matter what, and it also helps to develop kids that maybe are shy in a social setting, but right. The arts are their thing, and that's where they shine and start to come out of their shells as well. So it is definitely a driver for kids, even to be able to go into that as a career.
Right.
So, it's a win-win for us.
Absolutely, so essential and so exciting that you're building this program with artists in residence there on the campus of iLead Agua Dulce. So our niche at iLead throughout our schools is really providing what we like to call a private school experience while maintaining that public school cost, completely free. We call it personalized learning. So can you tell us how that gets rolled out at your school, how that, what that looks like at iLead Agua Dulce at your school? How do you personalize the education experience for each individual learner?
So basically, we are very intentional with our kids in regards to basically every single child will have an individual learning plan. So those are things that we're going to be coming up and creating that are going to be what is best for them. And that's exactly what each learner needs. We have developed a lot and helped with support of our reading coaches. We're having a very, very specific reading program that's going to be tailored to the needs of the learners. So if they are, maybe struggling in reading, they're going to get that support. And also the enrichment piece is extremely important as well. We've added a couple of fun academic digital programs that, again, will help them while they're not even feeling like they're doing work. So it is very individualized to what they need and very flexible. And that's what is very important. And I think that sets us apart from the traditional public, is that we can be flexible and use other resources as needed for what works for each child.
Absolutely. Rather than insisting that the child learn the way we teach the way each child can learn, and it just helps each kid grow and flourish right where they're at. I'm talking this morning with Wendy Maxwell, director of iLead Agua Dulce, your free public charter school, TK through 12th grade, just off the 14 freeway here on the east side of the Santa Clarita Valley. When we get back, we'll be talking about some exciting things happening in the high school. Stay tuned. I'm Matt Watson. This is SCVi and iLead Schools Eye on the Valley. You're listening to your hometown station, KHTS. Welcome back. You're listening to KHTS, your hometown station, 98.1 FM and 1220 AM. This is Matt Watson, and you are listening to SCVi and iLead Schools Eye on the Valley. I'm talking this morning with Wendy Maxwell, director of iLead Agua Dulce, your free public charter school offering grades TK through 12th grade here on the east side of Santa Clarita. Just so beautiful, Wendy, that kids can go to school. Well, gosh, now that you've implemented TK, 14 years on the same campus, it's possible to attend. So just so looking forward to when those years come that our early kindergartners start graduating high school. That'll be so exciting. Now, Wendy, speaking of high school, oftentimes I'll take phone calls from families that are looking to enroll at your school. And in a post-pandemic world, more and more parents are asking about a hybrid learning model for various different reasons. They're just, much more aware of the possibility, the flexibility, the power of a hybrid learning model. And that's exactly what you offer in your high school, right? Can you explain to our listeners what your high school looks like and why a hybrid learning model might be beneficial for some learners?
Absolutely. Our high school is a hybrid. They actually are only on campus Mondays and Fridays, and then Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, they are independent. Mondays and Fridays are kind of like the Mondays, the touch point of, kind of setting up the week, as well as both the high school facilitators provide support as needed on campus with their assignments. We've got a new platform that we're working on, and we've actually grown in the high school this year, so it's kind of like a little well-kept secret, but it's becoming bigger, and they have there's 2 classrooms now. So we had 1 last year, so we're to 2. And there's just a lot of differentiation that allows for where those learners are and what they need to take and what their path is for after high school.
Wow, so still that personalized learning concept, but it almost sounds like it's an on-ramp to that college experience. That is fantastic. And
Yes.
people might think, oh, only 2 days on campus, then where's the rigor? Well, you've got a great answer for that. Your high school was recently IB certified with a career program. How does the IB program benefit your high school learners?
So it is really awesome because it offers different programs for students to promote that academic rigor, the critical thinking, the intercultural understanding, and the global engagement. Its curriculum is implemented in schools worldwide and includes a comprehensive pre-university diploma program. It's a little bit like what the old AP was, but more advanced and global.
Okay, yeah, and it's funny. I first heard about the International Baccalaureate program when I was living and working down in South America, and if your kids were not in an IB program down there, there was no way they were going to get international jobs, and so I'm so glad to see that you and a couple of our other schools are bringing the IB here to Southern California. Now, speaking of your high school, just a couple of months ago, you celebrated the school's very first high school graduation. How special was that event, and what did it mean to you to be there to help start something start some of those important traditions at your school?
Yes, it was a beautiful ceremony. We had it at the Agua Dulce Women's Club. Thankful for them to allow us to use their space, which is a beautiful location. It was very quaint, and I felt honored, obviously being new to the school, to be able to send off our first class. So that was, and we were really, really excited to be able to have that first, and it was a wonderful evening.
That is exciting, and now you've set up those traditions, and just to build on them, you talked about all the amazing programs that you're instituting this year to help build on that. That is amazing. So, Wendy, you've talked about fostering academic excellence through play-based learning, design thinking, learning in a structured environment. How do you balance those two where, kids are free to play and their learning is being individualized, but you've got a lot of rigorous curriculum to teach the kids. How do you balance the play with the academic excellence?
I think it just comes natural at this school site. We're developing, very static schedules each day in the classrooms, and that makes it easier to be able to and they're constantly on the move, which is good. They're not sitting, like there's flexible seating in the classrooms, they can be up and down. So, that part allows for those brain breaks without, and then we're going, they're going to garden, they're going to animal science, they're going out to recess, so I think there's just such a great balance. We're getting a little bit more rigorous with the academic piece, which is definitely important, but it in a fun and engaging way for these kiddos. So I watched a lesson yesterday. One of the new teachers asked me to come in, and she had them write directions to make a peanut butter and jelly sandwich while she stood at in the front with literally bread, jelly, and peanut butter.
Oh, nice.
And whatever they said she was doing. And there were, it was, some had steps that were exactly, and then some were not. And, it was fun. Kids were laughing because they realized, oh, I missed something. So it was a wonderful hands-on. It was incredible. So I think we have more and more of that, and that really, connects in regards to learning instead of straight out of a textbook, which we all know doesn't necessarily ingrain material into our brains.
Right.
So we have a lot of hands-on.
Yeah, what a beautiful way to learn clarity in communication and in their writing and their speaking. And you're so right. Hands-on learning experience where you're actively involved and up and around is so much more engaging. That's something that, kids don't forget 5 minutes after they take a test or finish an assignment. It's funny. I sometimes when I tour prospective employees, they'll say, you know, the kids don't sit down and stay quiet very well here, do they? No, but find a job where sitting down and staying quiet is the norm and what you're expected to do anymore. That's just not the economy we live in. Kids are expected to
Right.
collaborate, to iterate, to create. And so I love that you're teaching them how to do that. And they really are learning, not just learning to learn, but learning to lead through all these different activities. It's exciting. So, Wendy, I know the school year just got started maybe a couple of weeks ago, but as families are listening, they're also settling into their school year and maybe thinking, I'm not sure if this place is the right fit for my kid. Wendy, are you still enrolling students at iLead Agua Dulce, or do families have to wait until next semester or next year?
No, we are definitely enrolling families. I do believe we have a wait list currently in the middle school, but we have high school and elementary all open with spots. So yes, we are still enrolling families and would love if they're interested, if they want to come and take a tour. We have tours on Thursdays at 10 o'clock, so they can just call the office and tour the campus, and we'll let them know all about our school as well. So yes, we are definitely still enrolling.
Interesting. Not many schools are willing to do that, right? Bring prospective families in while classes are going on, walk them through the classes, and show them this is what your kid's school is going to look like if you join us at iLead Agua Dulce. So how can families get more information? How can they sign up for that tour? How can they, if they're already convinced, how might they enroll?
They can obviously call the office if they're ready to enroll, and then if they want the tour, like I said, they call, again, the office, and we also have our website that they can take a look at and see what we're all about. But yes, we are very open to having people, and like I said, we do it Thursdays so that we can keep our campus in our schedules moving, but Thursdays at 10, that's a set date that my office manager and myself will walk and talk about all of our programs and our school.
Fantastic. And you mentioned there's information on the website. I'm looking at your website now. It's beautifully built. Very simple, iLeadAguaDulce.org, and you've got those buttons up at the top. I see that you've got the very first button I see is information sessions. You guys are leading some information sessions for families who are looking to come get more information.
Yes.
Fantastic. And I can see you've got sign up for tours here. So yeah, one more time, iLeadAguaDulce.org, or folks can click on the contact link and give you a call. For those of you that have a pencil in hand, it's 661-268-6386, 268-6386, or iLeadAguaDulce.org. Wendy Maxwell, Director of iLead Agua Dulce. Again, free public charter school offering grades TK through 12. You mentioned, let's see, I'm going to try to catch everything that you mentioned here this morning, Wendy. You mentioned you've got a beautiful kind of rural campus with animals and gardens just right there on campus. A lot of folks say that it mentions, and this is for the old-time Santa Clarita folks, it reminds them of the old town and country farm school. That sort of farm life is integrated.
I live right near there, so
yeah,
yes.
yeah, absolutely. So that's integrated in the learning, which is absolutely rigorous. You've got an amazing STEAM program, very rigorous high school program with the IB, the International Baccalaureate. What else did we talk about? The play-based learning, and kids are growing up like they did back in the 70s, where where your kids are climbing trees and exploring their education and just having a great time. All the curriculum built through a project-based learning platform. Wendy, what am I missing in my summary?
We've got a great school culture going on. Our facilitators, our care team, we're all on the same page. And it's just been a really, really nice flow. Parents, I greet kids every morning out at valet. It just feels like a really, really good vibe. So we're really excited about this school year. So you might want to come check it out.
Yeah, absolutely. Again, it's iLeadAguaDulce.org. It's amazing what can happen when kids are excited about going to school and they're engaged, they're having fun while they're learning. Wendy, we say it, but you are absolutely delivering it. A private school educational experience for the free public school price. Thank you so much for joining me today, Wendy. You have a great weekend. Go Beach.
Thanks, Matt. Appreciate it. You guys have a great weekend, too.
Take care. I am Matt Watson. You are listening to SCVi and iLead Schools Eye on the Valley. We'll be right back on your hometown station, KHTS. Welcome back. You are listening to KHTS, your hometown station, 98.1 FM and 1220 AM. I am your host, Matt Watson. You are listening to SCVi and iLead Schools Eye on the Valley. We just wrapped up a conversation with the director of iLead Agua Dulce, Wendy Maxwell. Well, gosh, she had so many things that she's doing over there at iLead Agua Dulce that I forgot some of them as I was, just kind of summing up. But just an absolutely amazing, fun, and engaging educational experience. Again, they offer grades TK through 12th grade. High schoolers are a hybrid program where they're on campus a couple times a week. TK through 8th grade, they're on campus 5 days a week. And well, gosh, they've got animals. They've got an amazing STEM program, the International Baccalaureate program, which is extremely rigorous. Last year I know they had a glider on campus. Kids were learning all about the principles of flight. 8th graders actually got to learn to fly a plane. Just some amazing things going on there at iLead Agua Dulce. Again, check them out at iLeadAguaDulce.org. They still have some vacancies in some grade levels, and so you can check it out, take a tour, and sign up today still. That was exciting. And you know what else is exciting, Delgado? You know what we haven't done in a while is we haven't celebrated the holidays.
There's some every day.
Every single day. We love celebrating the holidays here at Eye on the Valley. Not just the big ones, not just the holidays where you exchange gifts, invite over the family, and Hallmark makes an absolute killing. No, we love celebrating the little holidays as well, the minor holidays. So let's take a look at the holidays that we are celebrating today. Yes, multiple holidays that we're celebrating today. Today is Friday, August 29th, and if today's show is a rerun right now, well, you just got a little bit confused. But rerun or not, let's celebrate the day. After all, today is National Lemon Juice Day. No, not Lemonade Day, National Lemon Juice Day. Delgado, you like lemons?
Yes. Put some lemon juice, especially on some fruit. Just put some lemon.
Yeah, okay, so you put your fruit on your fruit.
Put fruit on the fruit.
Okay, lemon juice on the fruit. Okay.
Lemon juice, yeah. Just avoid cuts at all costs.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I love a good lemonade, but you got to have a decent amount of sugar in there. Not a big fan.
Go to the restaurant. Can I get just a couple lemons and some sugar and water, please?
Yeah, right.
So lemonade? Nope.
There you go. Do you eat the lemon by itself, or you just more
only if
additive?
It's cooked, like kind of seared on the barbecue, and then I'll just go right after it. But just like that, no, thank you. My mom does it like it's an orange.
My sister-in-law does the same thing. Big T's wife. She will just grab a lemon. Just looking for something to snack on. That thing you're not hungry but your mouth is bored. She'll just grab a lemon, chop it in half, and start biting at it.
I'm like, no, thank you.
No. Okay. Alrighty, so yeah, it is National Lemon Day. It is also National Chop Suey Day. No, not that amazing song that just popped into your head by System of a Down. Wake up! No, not that one. It is the delicious American Chinese dish. That's right. Did you realize that, Delgado? Chop suey is not a Chinese dish.
Not a Chinese dish.
It is a Chinese American dish created by Chinese Americans here in the States. So when you head over to Beijing, don't go asking where to get the best chop suey is. But yeah, today is.
And I'll be honest, I'm not sure what chop suey is.
Chop suey, it's just kind of it's the Chinese American version of bouillabaisse stew, right? It's just broth with just a bunch of sort of leftovers thrown in, right? You might have some chicken in there, you might have some pork, you probably have some boiled egg,
some obviously some noodles and things like that. What we have left, and it sounds like that. So
exactly, yeah. That's, and this might help you understand the Spanish translation of chop suey is de lo que hay, right? It's just whatever there is.
Whatever there is.
Throw it in there.
We'll make it work.
Absolutely. Love some chop suey. Today is also National Sports Sampling Day. Sports Sampling Day. This is a day where children and families are encouraged to try a new sport. Especially in today's day where kids are becoming specialists and they're playing like baseball 12 months out of the year and they don't have time for other sports. No, I mean, good for understanding baseball, for example, but, you want to grow your child's whole athletic ability. You want to grow their understanding and their spatial awareness. It's actually good. If your kid's a baseball player, it's good for them to learn to play basketball, football, golf, whatever.
Yeah, all those translating into whatever it is. And then, again, you're not going to know which one they excel at. If they do, maybe they like football and you said, oh, you're only going to be a football player, but they really love baseball.
Right.
So sample everything. And today's the day.
Today is the day, National Sports Sampling Day. There's all different kinds of sports that kids could get involved in. Do you do pickleball, Delgado?
I haven't yet, but I know it's a phenomenon that's going around.
It is.
I haven't gone to the courts yet, though.
It is sweeping the nation. It's a sport that I never even knew existed until, we were mid-pandemic and the mayor kept coming on every week and telling us that the pickleball courts were closed. And it was like, telling me I can't do something. I thought, okay, I can't play pickleball. I don't know what pickleball is, but apparently I got to get out there and play. National Sports Sampling Day. It is also National College Colors Day. Should have worn my Bruin shirt.
I should have worn the Cardinal and Gold.
Oh, yuck. Oh, what a great day for it, too. It is week 1 in college football. It's already underway. We had a few great games last night and one real stinker. But Boise State just went out and laid an egg last night. Yeah. But college football is already underway. We've got some games tonight. They're actually launching week 1 with a 5-day college football extravaganza. College football Thursday night, college football Friday night. Of course, Saturday is just the absolute smorgasbord of college football. And that's where UCLA is going to be taking on Utah. We're excited about it. And then it'll go into Sunday because there's no NFL games yet. And then even Monday night we get a game. Bill Belichick's got his debut.
Look at that. Monday Night Football.
On Monday Night Football. How about that? So, this is Friday, August 29th, and we are celebrating the national days. We're also celebrating a few prominent birthdays. Today is the birthday of Henry Bergh. That's right. Born in 1813. You might not have heard of Henry Bergh by name, but he is the activist and founder of the American Society for the Prevention of Cruelty to Animals, better known as the ASPCA. So, way back in the 1800s, he was telling people, hey, don't beat your dog.
Yeah, be nice. Be nice.
Yeah, be nice to your dog. He's a good boy. He's a good boy. Who's a good boy? Yeah, that's right. Today is also the birthday, August 29th, of Jackie Mitchell. You might not have heard of Jackie Mitchell either. She was born in 1913, 100 years after Henry Bergh, the founder of the ASPCA. But check this out. Jackie Mitchell was one of America's first... Well, let me tell you about Jackie Mitchell before I tell you who she was. Jackie Mitchell, at one point, back-to-back, in 1931, struck out Babe Ruth and Lou Gehrig.
Yes.
Back to back.
I've heard.
You've heard the
story.
Yep.
Not the person. I've heard. Yes, a female woman did strike out Babe Ruth a couple of times.
Yep. She actually became. In as much as she was getting paid, she became a professional baseball player at age 17. Word is she had a wicked curveball and a phenomenal arm. It just never got worn out. She was one of America's first female pitchers, and yes, in an exhibition against the 1931 Yankees. We're talking about the heyday of Murderers Row. Back to back, she struck out Babe Ruth. He swung at 2 pitches after taking a couple of balls and then took a called third strike and just about murdered the umpire. He was not happy about being struck out by a girl. Lou Gehrig stepped in and promptly swung at 3 pitches in a row and sat down. And, this is back when they were both in their relative prime. Babe Ruth... he still had maybe 5 more years before he retired. Gehrig had 8 more years before he retired after that. But yeah, Jackie Mitchell was just a phenomenal pitcher who toured with some of the otherwise all-male barnstorming baseball teams putting on exhibitions back in the day. And she actually made a bid. She petitioned Major League Baseball to allow her to sign a contract, and she wanted to play in the majors. But they denied her, saying that the rigors of a 162-game year was just too intense for a woman. Women would not be able to handle it. And that effectively banned women from Major League Baseball until 1992. 1992. As a matter of fact, they lifted the ban because there was another young lady who was pitching in college who was absolutely amazing. Got drafted by the White Sox in 1993. Obviously didn't make the major headlines because she didn't make the major leagues. She played in the minors for a little bit. Actually, no, she didn't play in the minors. She played basketball. She was, again,
okay.
Right? We talked about multiple sports. She chose a pro basketball career, but was drafted by the White Sox in 1993. So, again, happy birthday, Jackie Mitchell, 1913. Isabel Sanford, 1917. The actress fondly remembered for her role as Wheezy Jefferson.
Okay.
On the sitcom The Jeffersons. Wheezy was born in 1917. Happy birthday. Happy birthday, Wendell Scott, the first black driver to win a race in NASCAR. He won the Jacksonville 200 back, I believe it was in the it was the late 50s, early 60s, something like that. Quite a long time ago. Wendell Scott, happy birthday. Here's a name that you'll recognize. Happy birthday, John McCain, the late Senator John McCain, born in 1936, the politician and former naval captain who was shot down and held in the Hanoi Hilton in North Vietnamese prisoner of war camp for 6 years, came back and became a politician. Senator John McCain, happy birthday. Happy birthday to Temple Grandin. She's still alive. Temple Grandin, she is the autistic academic, the author, and ethologist who advocated for humane treatment of livestock for slaughter, and she advocated for autism rights. It's very interesting. Yeah. Her story is amazing.
Great biopic by Amy Adams.
Yeah, absolutely. Great movie. And finally, happy birthday to the gloved one, the king of pop, Michael Jackson. He was born in 1958. Do the math on that. How old would the king of pop have been
67.
today? 67. Wow, look at that. We got a savant over here. Would have been 67 years old today. Rest in peace, Michael Jackson. Happy birthday. Again, often referred to as the king of pop, widely regarded as one of the most influential musicians of the 20th century. So happy birthday to them all. And to all of you, happy National Lemon Day, National Chop Suey Day, National Sports Sampling Day, and National College Colors Day. Go Bruins. When we get back, we are supporting veterans through the Veteran Services Collaborative. You know, Santa Clarita, we absolutely love our veterans here in town. We're supporting them. You can too. Stick around and find out how. I'm Matt Watson. You're listening to SCVi and iLead School's Eye on the Valley. We'll be right back on your hometown station, KHTS. Welcome back, Santa Clarita. Happy Friday. You are listening to KHTS, your hometown station, 98.1 FM and 1220 AM. This is Matt Watson. You are listening to SCVi and iLead School's Eye on the Valley. My next guests today are both part of the leadership team at the Veteran Services Collaborative. Both veterans themselves. We have Jeff Stabile and Dennis Sugasawara. Jeff is a board member and is a U.S. Air Force and Vietnam veteran who has been volunteering with the collaborative since 2018 in a myriad of ways, from conducting fundraisers to training other volunteers and publishing their newsletter. He has also volunteered with the Special Olympics, the Red Cross, the graffiti removal programs, and suicide prevention, postvention, and wellness committee of LA County. Jeff and his wife Peggy also started the Santa Clarita Valley chapter of PFLAG, very active indeed. And Dennis is the Director of Business and Community Affairs for the Veteran Services Collaborative, a longtime resident of Santa Clarita and U.S. Army veteran who also had a previous career in the entertainment industry. As an alumnus of Cal State University Northridge, Dennis has made a commitment to community involvement, particularly after transitioning from caring for his ailing parents. He has served on several boards in the Santa Clarita Valley and volunteered for organizations such as the Child and Family Center, the Seroptimus International of Greater Santa Clarita Valley, and the Santa Clarita Boys and Girls Club. Jeff, Dennis, welcome back to the Eye on the Valley.
Well, thank you for having us.
Thank you.
Thanks for joining us, and thank you both for your service. And gosh, reading your resumes, I don't think there's an organization in town that the two of you haven't volunteered for. Oh my gosh, you guys stay so active, and we appreciate it. You both know that Santa Clarita really runs on its philanthropy and volunteerism, and it's so exciting. And you both, like I said, are so active in our community. Can you share with our listeners just what brought you to Santa Clarita as a community, and then what motivates you to be so active supporting others in town?
Well,
Age before beauty, I guess.
I was transferred from Chicago out here,
Okay.
and there were several co-workers that lived up here.
Okay.
And as we were looking around, they would keep inviting me, come on up to the house, see what's up. And I looked around and I said, this is pretty nice up here.
Yeah.
And so I kept looking around and called my wife and told her, hey, it's great. And I found a house for us. And she says, well, I want to look at it.
Well, yeah.
So, but she came out and it was the same house. But so we moved out in 1979.
Okay.
And this was still when the west side of the freeway was nothing.
Right.
And the two department stores we had were Kmart and the Sears outlet store.
Right. Right.
Over by where Velarda is now. So it was pretty sparse up here at that point in time. And the growth has been just unbelievable. And Peg and I just started, reading papers and listening and kind of getting involved with things. And then I got involved with the graffiti removal, and just one thing led to another. But it was like we just liked the community. Mm-hmm. And she was a teacher and a counselor at heart, so she knew a lot of people. She'd always walk around town and find somebody that she'd say hello to.
Okay.
So that just led one thing to another.
Okay. Dennis, what about yourself? What brought you to Santa Clarita, and then what led you to get involved so much in the community?
Well, it was economically speaking, because in the 1990s, my then wife and I got married. We were looking around. I thought I wanted to stay in San Fernando because I would be close to the entertainment industry.
Right, you've got a long history.
There was nothing we could afford, so she said, "Let's go to, Santa Clarita," and I had no idea where it was. Mm-hmm. And when I got here, I thought, "This is the end of the world as I know it." And so she found a place, and my parents were being helpful with us financially, so we went to look at it. Her father was a general contractor, so he was investigating everything.
Oh, okay.
And my mother, she was watching my then wife was dancing around showing her dad all the stuff, and she says, because when your daddy, when we got married, he bought a house, sight unseen. I never got to see it. I hated it. I absolutely hated it. I told him I needed to if next time we get another house, I get to choose. Mm-hmm. Well, she didn't. He got another house without her seeing it. So she said, you know how much I hate that house? I go, yes. She goes, so I see your new wife bouncing around, happy as ever. She goes, you need to get this house, because if you don't, she will make your life a living hell. And then she turned to my dad and said, isn't that true? And he just nodded. But so that's how we got here, and I'm really glad, because as I developed my relationship with the city, it was really great. However, my community service didn't start till after I retired, because of my parents. I needed to be a caregiver for them. So once they passed, I needed to figure out what I wanted to do, and one of them was starting a new little business and joining the chamber and the VIA and trying to understand, how to connect with people. Mm-hmm. And that led to volunteering, and that volunteering led to other volunteering in more of the nonprofit organizations.
Yeah, absolutely. So so you're here talking about the Veteran Services Collaborative. Jeff, you've been with the organization now 7 years. Mm-hmm. Can you tell us what the Veteran Service Collaborative is? When was it founded? What do y'all do?
Okay, it was incorporated into a 501c3 in August of 2017.
Okay.
And then in 2018, I think it was January, the Veteran Center opened, the office. And I happened to come in February because my wife had looked in the paper and said, hey, this is something that you might be interested in. Yeah. So I went in, was interested, and that was it. I started volunteering, and at that time there were 5 volunteers, one a day to take care of everything. And what's nice now is we have over 25 volunteers and running 2 shifts a day, Monday through Friday, 9 to 4. And it's really grown quite a bit.
Yeah. Yeah, in a relatively short time, it really has grown. So, Dennis, as part of the growth, y'all moved into a new building last year, and that's kind of when you joined the team. Last year, when we talked to you, you were still kind of new to the Veteran Services Collaborative. As you've continued to partner with Jeff and the organization, what have you learned, and what do you feel your leadership brings to the collaborative?
Well, the first thing I learned was Jeff is not as grumpy as I thought. He's got a really good sense of humor.
He likes to put on that grumpy facade.
Yeah. No, but I really appreciate him so much. You know, and he knows I have that kind of acerbic sense of humor. But
what?
But he goes with it and gives it back. That's what I really love. So, but the leadership I think was based on the fact that I was used to line produce movies, and so. There's this organizational skill that I developed.
Okay.
So when they asked me to help with their fundraisers, it was actually kind of a nice fit because it reminded me of let's make a barn kind of thing, from something of an inception to actually a practical situation that was happening.
Okay. So fantastic. So I want to talk about kind of the need and then the services. So let's start with the need. Jeff, how many veterans do we have here in the Santa Clarita area? How many folks are we talking about that you all are available to serve?
We did a kind of an informal study off the Census Bureau several months back, and within the zip codes that make up the city, there are 12,400 veterans.
12,400.
Now, that's just within the city limits.
Sure.
If you start going out, it just increases from there. And I know Antelope Valley, it's close to over 14,000 up there.
Wow.
Just using those zip codes. And,
sure.
But we deal with veterans from the valley, and we deal with veterans from out of state. So it's all over.
Okay, so while you're located here in Santa Clarita and your primary focus is veterans in Santa Clarita, you don't really have borders that you have to live in this area to get our services.
Nope. Anybody that either calls in or walks in the door, all we ask is, how can we help you?
Fantastic.
And then we see what we can do about providing them resources and referrals to, meet their needs.
Okay, so let's talk about the services. You mentioned resources and referrals. Your model of serving others is a little bit different than other organizations and very, very interesting. Tell us what services you have available. What do you do for our veterans at the Service Center?
Well, we provide resources and referrals to 21 community services. So, we don't do a lot of the community service within the Veteran Center. But what we do is we have organizations and companies that have told us, hey, we'll help veterans. Now, this includes veterans, active duty, and their families. So the families are entitled to the same services that we provide to the veterans. So what we do is somebody comes in and says, this is what I'm looking for. I got a problem here. And we say, okay, here's somebody that you can help. Because what we want to do is they come in looking for help. We want them to walk out the door with something they can action that day versus waiting for an appointment for 2 or 3 weeks, 4 weeks down the road. And that's what people have said that they love. They're walking out and they realize they can move forward on their issue because we provided them with something, a referral, a contact, or something like that. And so, we, as a 20-minute community service, it's like healthcare, home, employment, education, just on and on. And we got to keep up with all of this stuff.
Sure.
But we always look for new companies that can add to our resume. And we actually produce a book, which is called a resource book, that is local sources available for veterans. So that book just doesn't say on the shelf.
So you're kind of like that universal adapter, right? You've got veterans that don't know where to go to get the services they need, and you help get them connected regardless of what their needs
Right.
are. That is absolutely beautiful. So can you share with us kind of what type of idea or what type of services we're talking about? What are some of maybe the top 2 or 3 resources that you recommend as a starting point?
Well, one of the major ones is VA benefits. We
Right.
have specialists that come in twice a week just to sit with veterans or family members to talk about what are they entitled to, what kind of forms do they need, et cetera. And we help them to navigate that va.gov website, which is a huge website and has so much information that a lot of people just get really frustrated.
It could be overwhelming, yeah.
That's right. So we come in, and a lot of veterans, like me, the older ones, like reading something. They don't work on electronics
I
very
see what
well.
you're saying,
We've
yeah.
actually taught veterans how to use their mobile phones and how to use other things. But a lot of old ones love to see paper and
Right.
look at it. So we can help them go through the forms, explain what the forms do, download them for them, help them fill them out if they need to. So VA benefits is really top. The other thing is we have a food pantry. And that's become very popular over the last year and a half. The number of people coming in has really increased. And we have to keep getting food. We have 3 supermarkets that help us out in providing food. Then we do food drives. So the food bank is another one. The other one is just come in and tell us what you're dealing with. Doesn't make any difference. Tell us what you're dealing with. I can almost guarantee we will be able to have somebody that will be a contact that can help you move forward on this thing. And, but it may be getting them prepared to see somebody at the VA. But it's probably those 3 things are probably the top.
Yeah, and it's interesting. Oftentimes, you don't realize what services are available to you, especially as a veteran. There's a lot of services available to our veterans, thank God. But you don't realize what services are available until you sit down and say, you know what I could really use? Or, like you said, just sit and talk with the team and tell us what you're going through. Because there's a lot of folks that might just say, you know what, I'm doing okay. I'm all right. But don't realize that I'm all right could be I'm so much better with the support of certain services that meet your need. And so just sitting down and having that initial conversation is so important. Growing up, my father taught me the importance of having a guy. You got to have a guy, right? If you're looking to buy a car, you need to have a guy. You don't just walk onto the car lot. You need to know somebody who's going to take care of you.
Do you have a guy? I have a guy.
Right. Everybody's got a guy. You got to have a guy. And you guys are that guy for so many different people when it comes to veteran services. So how does it get started? Let's say a veteran's listening today thinking, you know what, I'm doing okay, but I ain't as young as I used to be, and maybe that old injury is acting up, or, I do wish that I could improve my quality of life, not really sure how. How might they get started?
Well, just either telephone us or walk in the door, and just as I say, we ask you, how can we help you? So we just want to know what issue they're dealing with. And as they talk, all of a sudden we can say, well, here's 1, 2, 3 different resources that you can go to, or we can have them come in and talk with one of the benefit counselors, because that's really, really important with the understanding the VA benefit. And as you just said, a lot of veterans don't realize what they're entitled to, or don't know where to look or where to go. And just by this casual talking and kind of like an interview, they realize, okay, I need this and I can do that, and then we take it from there. So it's just make a call, and I receive calls. I still receive calls at night.
Oh, wow.
And guys apologizing, I'm sorry to call you. Like I said, don't worry about it. That's what we're here for. And,
Yeah.
He needed information, but, I directed him towards either our benefit counselors or the veteran service officer who's up here 2 days a week.
Okay.
to either one. They could go to either one to get things done. And, it's nice. They get off the phone. They say, thanks. I've been looking around. I just didn't know where to go.
Right.
And that's the simple thing. Now they have something to action.
Yes.
They can go and they can either come in or they can make a call, whatever they want to do.
So you've mentioned it a couple times. You can come in or you can make a call. So where would they call or where would they come in? How do folks find you?
Well, the telephone number, it's on the website, but it's also 661-753-3559. And we're located at 23681 Newhall Avenue, Unit 7, right in the Douglas Furniture shopping
Right, just
mall,
up the road here.
just up the street.
Yep.
And we're open 9 to 4, and they can just come in anytime. Generally, they don't need to arrange an appointment or anything.
Okay.
It's just come on in, and
Okay.
we'll see you. We'll take care of you.
All right, you're going to be stopping by Green Thumb Nursery, head across the street over there, and stop into the collaborative, Dennis.
Yeah, there also you can go online to SCV-vets. That's Sierra Charlie Victor vets.org, and you can email us at info@scv-vets.org, and if you have an inquiry, then somebody will get back to you and answer your question.
Perfect, and like Jeff said, there you find the address, the phone number. It's again scv-vets.org, scv-vets.org. We're talking this morning with Jeff Stabile and Dennis Sugasawara from the Santa Clarita Veteran Services Collaborative, and they are supporting those who served and their families. We may get into that a little bit later on. You don't necessarily have to be a veteran, but a family member of a veteran, and they've got your back. When we get back, they've got a very special event coming up. Looks like a really fun event, gentlemen, and you can attend and you can support our veterans who have supported and taken care of us. I am Matt Watson. This is SCVi and iLead Schools Eye on the Valley. You're listening to your hometown station, KHTS. Delgado, I love hearing that beautiful British accent talk about, pronounce some of the Spanish names and streets in town. You didn't realize that Soledad was only 2 syllables, did you? That was my nickname back in high school, was Soul Daddy. Alrighty, welcome back. You are listening to No, it was not. You are listening to KHTS, your hometown station, 98.1 FM and 1220 AM. This is Matt Watson, otherwise known as Soul Daddy, and you are listening to SCVi and iLead Schools Eye on the Valley. Joining me this morning are two amazing gentlemen, Jeff Stabile, Dennis Sugasawara from the Santa Clarita Veteran Services Collaborative. One of the things I love about this city, one of the things that I'm most proud of is the way we treat our veterans here in town. I see our neighbors all the time thanking men and women for their service, treating them with the respect they deserve. But Jeff, Dennis, you guys are here with an opportunity for the community to do just a little bit more than say thank you for your service or applaud their sacrifice. You've got a really cool event coming up, a fundraiser to support veterans. What can you tell us about it?
Well, we're calling it Marching On for a Better Tomorrow.
Okay.
And it's going to be held at Santa Clarita Studios, which was offered to us by our host is Mike DeLorenzo.
What a great venue.
What a great guy he was to do this for us. And he's actually an Army vet himself.
Oh, great.
And I didn't know that either until we started talking. It's going to be held on Saturday, September 13th, between 6 and 9 p.m.
That's just a couple weeks away?
Yes. Tickets are still available till the end of next week.
Okay.
So hopefully everyone will still have a chance. Please buy.
Okay, so tell us about the event. What's the event going to include? Because I was on your website, which, by the way, scv-vets.org. You guys do a great job promoting the event on your website. It looks like a lot of fun. Share with our listeners what this event is going to be all about.
Well, we're going to have a band there, which we had last year. They changed their name. Now they're called Jack. They used to be called Get Off My Lawn, but...
Okay, but Jacked, that's a little bit younger, a little bit more fun band.
I kind of like that sarcasm of "Get off my lawn."
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's fun.
But they're going to be back because everyone requested them. So they're going to be there. We're going to have a number of our title sponsor is Catherine Barger, so she's going to be there to speak for us. There's a gentleman by the name of Jim Zenner, who is the director of Los Angeles County Military and Veteran Affairs. He's going to talk about his experience and why groups like ours, the collaborative, are very important in our local communities.
Yeah. Yeah, so you're talking about advocacy and support. You talked about the amazing music. We've got some of the best restaurants in the country right here in Santa Clarita. Y'all are going to have some great food out there too, aren't you?
Yes, Copper Hill.
Copper Hill Barbecue.
He's coming back.
Yeah.
Because they're number one in barbecue, so this is great.
Incredible
They want me
food.
to do it. Agustin Prieto over at California Bakery is going to be giving us our baked goods for dessert. So we have another lady who's also going to donate cookies. Her name is Kiki's Kitchen.
Okay.
And so, I think we're going to have a really good time over it.
Yeah, incredible food, incredible music, and all to support an amazing cause, supporting the veterans in our community that have served us.
And I have to add one more thing. The great Ed Masterson will be our MC.
There we go. You can't go wrong with MC Ed. Ed Masterson he's been doing it for years, and he gets top bill when it comes to MCs in town. And then folks, you're also going to have a photo booth there.
Yes.
So lots of fun, and folks will be able to post on their social media channels.
We have a silent auction with enough items from all aspects, from somebody who can afford it to somebody who can really afford it.
There you go. That's a really good point, Dennis, because I've been to a lot of the events that have silent auctions. Love me a silent auction. It's not quite as fast-paced or intimidating as the live auction. Right. But as a teacher, I'm a little bit restricted on my, what I can spend on those auctions. And it can be frustrating when you walk in where the lowest level price starts at $3,000 or something like that.
Right.
I always like to be able to walk away with like a gift basket that I paid $40, $50, $60 for.
Yeah, we're very aware of that. We wanted to have people that can get something, everyone can get something out of this.
Yeah, definitely. So fantastic. You're going to have that, and then. Everybody really is going to walk away with something because you're giving folks swag bags on their way out.
That is true.
So nobody's going home empty-handed, whether you win an auction item or not. So, again, we're talking about Saturday, September 13th. That is 2 weeks from tomorrow, 6 to 9 p.m., Santa Clarita Studios right over here in the Valencia Industrial Center. So how do folks get tickets?
You can go to our website, SCVi-vets.org.
Yep.
I don't know why I can't memorize that, Ralph.
Right. It's the dash that throws me off every time.
Yeah, me too. It's like a tongue twister. So you go in there, and then you'll see displayed up there prominently is buy tickets, where you can buy tickets, where you can also sponsor still.
Okay, so I wanted to talk about that because you mentioned that Catherine Barger is your title sponsor, but you have other sponsorships available as well because, our businesses out here, they love to support vets, and who wouldn't? So how can a business or even an individual become a sponsor?
Yeah, they can just go online and they can go in there and say, hey, I want to sponsor on this level. We have got Catherine Barger being our title. This year we decided to use awards or medals as levels. So she is the
Medal of Honor.
Thank you, Medal of Honor.
Yeah, she's the Medal of Honor sponsor.
And then the next level at 5,000 is Distinguished Service Cross.
Love that.
Star. And then from there it goes to the Silver Star, Bronze Star, Purple Heart.
Okay.
So each one has a different level of amount and different offers.
Okay, and there's no truth to the rumor that those Purple Heart sponsors are forcibly wounded on their way in the door? No?
Who let it out? Who told you?
Who let it out?
Hey, we were trying to keep that a secret.
No, but that is really cool, for a small business in town to say, yeah, I'm the Purple Heart sponsor out at the Veteran Services Collaborative Marching On event, September 13th. Yeah. Very, very exciting. And so each of these, obviously, they come with, different packages and things like that. For example, that Bronze Star, that level sponsorship includes, you not only get 4 seats, you get 4 drink tickets, spread them out among your guests, because you got to drive home. You get 2 VIP parking passes, which you guys hit on something there, given the VIP parking passes, because parking at these events can get a little difficult.
And the parking at the studios is huge.
Yeah, okay, but these VIPs, these Bronze Star folks, get to pull up right in the front row, and then of course they get all their recognition, stage recognition, logo placement, advertisement in the event program, social media stuff, and they get the due recognition that they deserve
Deserve when they donate as much amount of money that they do.
Absolutely. So, and I'm looking here on your website, and you've got the little, you've got the thermometer. You have your fundraising goal, and I see you guys have already. You're almost 50% of the way at your fundraising goal, and the event hasn't even taken place yet.
Yeah, and I'm like, it's not enough.
Right. No. Yeah. Let's get this little thermometer all the way up to 100% and supersede it. I'm sure. Knowing our residents, you guys are going to double that goal. Easy. You're going to double that goal.
So too.
So one more time, just kind of resetting it. You guys have Marching On, September 13th. And it's Marching On for a Better Tomorrow, serving the needs of the Santa Clarita Valley veterans through the Santa Clarita Valley Veterans Collaborative. September 13th, 6 to 9 p.m., Santa Clarita Studios. You can get tickets at scv-vets.org. I want to talk a little bit more about the services that you provide because, Jeff, we mentioned before we went to the break, yeah, you guys serve as that universal adapter, getting vets connected to whatever services they need, even when they didn't realize those services were available. But you don't just serve veterans, you serve their families as well. Can you talk about some examples of how you serve families?
Yeah, because, when veterans are looking at benefits, it affects the whole family.
Right.
Okay. So we like to have the families involved. And also you have some veterans that are not mobile, so they can't come in.
I see.
So we then have the families that come in and take a look at the paperwork and get what they need. We also do the same thing for caregivers. Right. We consider them family because a lot of times they're taking care of the person, and the person may not have any family. It may be the caregiver is the only person that comes in to see them. So we treat the caregiver just like family, and they come in. We'll explain everything to them, provide the work. But it's important that the families are aware of what type of benefits and how it's going to affect them.
Okay.
Because sometimes, depending on the compensation level that the veteran is at, some benefits will continue on for families if the veteran dies. Other times they don't, but we can give them all that information so when they leave. We also have I don't know how to do this. It's kind of like a caregiver type of program, but if a veteran passes away, the family member comes in and we work out all the things they need to do. Now, we hopefully would have them come in before this occurs, but
Sure.
a lot of times it's after, and they come in and not only is the family member dealing with a lot of things with the death of a veteran, now you got to deal with the VA, and it's like unbelievably overwhelming. So we've got a whole kit that we provide people. Said, okay, here are the things that you need to look at. Here are the things that you check out, and we kind of help them through that.
Okay, so if you're a veteran, or if your spouse was a veteran, your parent was a veteran, or if you're the caretaker of a veteran, you all can support folks accessing services that they had no idea were available to them.
Right.
I love that, and it almost went without saying, but I do want to say it. What do you all charge for your services? Are there any services that you don't charge for?
Oh, gee, it's just astronomical is what we charge. We don't.
Again with the sarcasm.
We don't charge anything. Everything is no cost to the veterans and their families.
Right.
No cost for all of the service that we provide.
It's so amazing. And again, there's veterans that have been made aware, upon discharge, you've got these services available to you, but, maybe you were discharged years ago or were thinking at the time you wouldn't really need that, but life goes on. Just getting veterans and their families access to services that they need. Dennis?
Well, there's a couple of things that I've noticed since I've joined.
Sure.
One is that there's a lot of family members who are trying to encourage their vets because for some reason or another they don't feel obliged to come out and talk about their issues.
Right.
And so that's one of the things we're trying to work with in terms of therapy. And then on top of that, a lot of them don't, God, that was the other one I forgot now. But yeah, that was one of the more important things. It's like, a lot of vets feel reluctant to come in. And so it becomes upon their their spouses or their dependents to say, hey, we need to help you.
Well, it's, neither one of my parents were veterans, but my father was a police officer. And, it's kind of that heart and mindset of I'm the one that takes care of others. And so then to start relying on someone else, whether it's just for information or otherwise to help you out, it can be a little bit of a mind shift.
Yeah, that's
right?
actually a very good way of putting
Yeah,
it.
yeah. But, Jeff, you've mentioned to me in our conversations past that oftentimes some of the most valuable services that you all provide is you're just someone that's there to talk with somebody that comes in, and folks will just come in, sit down, and chat with you.
Yeah, we've have a number of people that come in and visit with us, which we love. Just come on in, you want to talk. I've, over the years, been talking with veterans, and they start talking about their life in the military and their background. And then they say, I've never told any of my family about this. So, but when they come in, they're generally talking to veterans.
Right.
And they feel comfortable that this environment, they'll listen to what I'm saying, and I'm free to say what I'd like to say, where at other times it's very difficult to talk to their family members about some of this. I'm not sure they'll understand, and those types of things. So that's why we're there. That's one of the things that we are, and that's why when somebody calls me, and if they call me late at night, I don't care. I stop watching Netflix, and you go in the other room, and I say, let's talk. The other point I want to make is we are not funded by anybody.
Wow.
We work strictly off donations, if we can find grants, et cetera. So that's why this fundraiser is important to us, is that helps us with our just day-to-day operations. We don't have a lot of excess. We really run pretty thin and pretty lean there, and we have to because of the fact that we have to raise all our own money. So people need to know that.
Okay, so you're 100% donation and fundraising funded, which makes this fundraiser that you've got coming up in September all the more important.
Yes.
Dennis, do me a favor, just reset the event for us really quick. What is it? When is it? Where is it? And how do folks get tickets?
It's called Marching On for a Better Tomorrow, because of our tomorrow is the foundation and the donations that we're getting to move into the next level that of programs and services that we want to do, that we have our vision of. That will be this Saturday, or not this Saturday, but a week from this Saturday, September 13th, 6 to 9. Entry will start at 5:30.
Okay, so September 13th, 6 to 9 p.m., Santa Clarita Studios, and folks can get tickets at scv-vets.org. Fantastic.
You said that very well.
Now, unfortunately, I'm going to be out of town that day, but for somebody like me that's not going to be able to attend the event, or maybe someone says, yeah, I'm buying tickets, I'm buying a whole table, but I also want to get involved. What do you all need? How can folks otherwise support the Santa Clarita Valley Veteran Services Collaborative?
Well, one of the things that we always are looking for are volunteers, because we do a number of resource tables where we go out, set up a table with information, answer questions. But we get a lot of requests for the resource tables, but we can't get to every one of them. So we're looking for people that would like to volunteer. They don't have to come in and volunteer at the center, particularly at a time, but they can help us with outside activities that we do. Might be on the weekend, might be at night, something like that. So that's one of the things that we end up needing. Let's see.
Yeah, the other one is because I work on the business affairs side of it, is like businesses who really more than want to do just thank you for your service when a vet comes in.
Right.
It's like, how can I give back to them? Aside from donations, just say I run a shop. I want to give a discount to a vet.
Okay. Yeah.
Go in, email info@scv-vets.org and say, hey, how can I get together with you guys and be able to give something to the vets in terms of a discount of some sort.
Yeah, what a win-win, right?
Yeah.
It's I want to give 15% off to all veterans, and that's going to drive a little bit more traffic to your business, and you're just doing the right thing. What a great win-win.
Yeah, Matt.
Yes,
Another
Jeff.
thing on the thing what Dennis said, that corporate involvement is the partnerships. we can do certain events with different companies or organizations, and it helps us to expose ourselves to the public, but it also helps the company that we're dealing with. And an example is Hello Auto Group, the Mazda, Kia, and Subaru dealership. We've done a number of things with them, and we really appreciate the fact that, they're putting it through. So other companies were more than happy to do things with them. So if they feel that they'd like to do something with veterans, give us a call and we'll work something out.
And then one final thing on adding to that is, like, if a business says, hey, I believe in the vets in terms of employment, help us help you help them.
Perfect. So yeah, if you operate a business here in town, contact them at info@scv-vets.org. You can also sign up for one of the sponsorship levels for the event that they've got going on September 13th. If you're an individual and you want to attend the event, it's going to be a lot of fun. Going to have some great music, great food, and just a great time with a lot of great people supporting our Santa Clarita Valley and beyond veterans. Again, go to scv-vets.org for tickets or to volunteer. Great thing about volunteering is you don't need to be able to do anything. Just learn about the information a little bit and just help folks get connected. Jeff, Dennis, thank you so much for joining me this morning. Thank you for your service, not only in the military, but to those folks who also served like you did. Thank you for all you do. Enjoy the week.
Thanks, Matt.
You take care. And you don't go away. When we get back, we're about to get a little bit nuts. It's Big T's 5 Minutes of Fame. He's always out of control. He's got trivia, fun facts, and you know what? Just stay tuned. It's going to be fun. I am Matt Watson. This is SCVi and iLead School's Eye on the Valley on your hometown station, KHTS. Welcome back. You are listening to KHTS, your hometown station, 98.1 FM and 1220 AM. This is SCVi and iLead School's Eye on the Valley. I am your host, Matt Watson, and you did it, didn't you? You did it. Despite your better judgment, you stuck around. And it was probably out of morbid curiosity, but you hung with us, and now you've done it. You're going to be listening to Big T's 5 Minutes of Fame. Y'all know Big T. Big T is an executive and philanthropist. He's an amazing father, husband, and dog dad. And like a software update, nobody asked for him, but here he is anyways. He's Mom's favorite. Big T, welcome to the show.
Good morning, Maddie. And should I say happy birthday, Frogger?
No, it is not my birthday, but you're right. Frogger was born about 9 years ago, just a couple days ago.
About 9 years ago. I'm glad you remember.
Yeah, I do. You won't let me forget.
That is true.
All right, Big T.
Hey, so Big T is in Yakima today, which is affectionately referred to as the armpit of Washington.
Okay. You know, that's very coincidental because the day after Frogger was born, Frogger was in Yakima.
True that. Hey, Big T doesn't get a lot of Santa Clarita Valley news up here in the beautiful Pacific Northwest, but can y'all tell me, did something happen with your mayor this week?
Yeah. Go to hometownstation.com and you can find out.
Yeah, there we go. That's hometownstation.com has got all of your Santa Clarita Valley community news and updates. You can read about it there. And not only can you read about it
all the time, but I have some in-depth questions. So, but did the mayor say something stupid or did he do something stupid?
Like I said, it's all there on hometownstation.com, and you can read not only what Mr. Mayor had to say or do, but you can also get a fact check on it.
Okay. Well, I heard the mayor was smelling something that he didn't like. He might have been referring to Yakima. I'm not sure. Either that or one of those other council members was a little gassy. You know, at their age, sometimes they don't know what's happening.
Well, the phone's ringing.
The phone's ringing. Hey, you know what I heard? Did you know, Frogger, that according to the mayor, that Santa Clarita has two of the smartest politicians in the world?
I did hear that.
Yeah.
And I puffed out my chest a little bit further. I'm very proud of the town I live in.
Sure. Maybe that's why it's called Awesome Town.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm asking these questions. I'm not getting a whole lot of answers here. Can you ask Carl to come on in? I'm sure he has answers for me.
Let me look. Is he down there, Andrew?
No,
yeah, come on. That's probably not going to happen. Ain't no way the boss is coming in to waste time with Big T.
No, probably not.
But I should probably let you all know Big T's coming down to California this weekend, and there is a good chance that I might buy Frogger dinner.
All right.
So, Frogger, for this round of trivia, you may have to pull a Gibbs and recuse yourself from this round.
Now is a good time to remind folks that the views, viewpoints, and statements of Big T are not necessarily and are absolutely not those of the station here at KHTS or iLead Schools or Frogger. But Big T, you asked for the boss, and you're about to get the boss. We don't have Carl Goldman here, but we've got his lovely bride, Jerry Cerati Goldman, stepping up to the mic. Jerry, welcome to Eye on the Valley.
Thank you. What questions do you have, Tony? I would be more than happy to answer them.
Sounds like we're skipping trivia today.
I was just asking some questions. Apparently, the mayor was smelling something that he didn't like this past Tuesday.
Well, there were several
and I was
things.
Curious.
So we fact-checked
It does
them.
stink?
One of them was that this building was historical. And so we were never
Right.
told that when we bought it. We actually bought it. It was empty for many, many years.
This is the old Newhall Hardware site, yeah.
Yeah. And Gary Cusimano was the trustee on the for this. We all know Gary. His wife just passed away.
God rest his soul.
Yes. So we were never told that by the realtor. When we went to go into permits, we didn't know any of that. Now, when we did the story last night to fact check him, Leon Warren said that it was on a list, but who buys a building and goes checks to see if it's on a historical list? So that answers that.
Right.
That's the smelling.
Okay.
He said that something smelled. That was one of them.
Okay.
I want to keep going because there were several things.
All right, T, I'm
No,
turning
I
it over
know
to
he
you.
also said that Santa Clarita has two of the smartest politicians in the world.
Well, that was Carl. So we are not allowed, with our contract with the Serrano Group, to talk about the price that we sold for.
Well, somebody was talking about the price you sold for.
Obviously, there was someone that shared the price with several people in town.
So, but isn't that public record when you agree to sell?
It will be when it closes. But for some
interesting.
reason, that wasn't our ask. We don't care. That was the Serrano Group that asked it to be confidential.
Oh, okay, so they even asked it to be
Now,
confidential. So how'd that get out?
Exactly. How did it get out?
I don't know.
Gosh.
Hey, I have a question. So this said historical building. Is that the same building that the mayor didn't even know the name of? He had to ask the crowd for help?
Exactly.
Okay.
Okay.
Just checking.
You want to ask the other questions that he was wrong about?
There was a lot of them. I don't know if we have that much time. Big T only has 5 minutes.
Well, you know what? We'll just blow off Fox News so you guys can still do the trivia.
Okay. I'm for it.
Okay, there you go. So any other questions, Tony? Because I'd be more than happy to answer them.
Tony, let me teach you how to do this. Tony hasn't been interviewing people as long as I have. So here we go. Jerry Cerati Goldman, co-owner of KHTS. What else was the mayor incorrect about in his statements on Tuesday night?
Can you pull?
I'm on it.
Yeah, there were several things. The money, because he was so concerned. So let's go to the $750,000. The $750,000 was a deal made with Lorraine West and the developer without the city manager knowing anything about it.
Okay.
And Bill really wanted that $750,000. He thought we were getting a portion of. No, we were, because that's what Jason. What's Jason's last name?
You're talking about the
Serrano,
developer.
yeah.
Yeah, I don't know his last name.
Jason Tolson.
There we go.
Right. So when they're putting 20 extra apartments on our space. We didn't think that the city, because the city staff recommended that 750 be kept by the city. So keep in mind, we did not want to move. We even bought our partner out. We spent $40,000 on sound engineer and structural engineers to figure out how we could stay here.
Well, yeah, everything in the studio, which I've appreciated, has been upgraded recently, and you guys are looking to stay long term.
So we were going to move over to his space short term and just let this go. We were going to ask Jason Tolson if he wanted to use it as construction.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, that
A
was
temporary move.
Yeah, temporary. That we could then, so they had to go up because this is a very old building, and they were the structural engineer along with the sound said it's going to be thousands and thousands of dollars to do that, and that's what we asked the Serrano Group for, why do we have to pay for the city, which is almost going to be making close to $4 million? We put that in our story last night.
Okay.
With fees, other fees, whatever. They're making a lot of money. So we knew months ago why this was so important to them.
Okay.
You know, follow the money.
Sure. Right.
So that's when bought our partner out. We thought that Serrano was going to do the mitigation. What we did not know all along was that they wanted this space. That's why on all the meetings, they had us whited out. They had all the other businesses around, but they had us whited out. They wanted us all along. When they made an offer starting in June of 24, it was very low. The other big thing is when we were going to redo our loan 2.5 years ago, we had to get the bank involved, and they had to do compensation and an evaluation. At that time, this building was worth $2.750. So that's what we counted on for part of our retirement. We're not getting that much. We're leaving a lot of money on the table. That was even more of a reason I wanted to move next door, because once the development was in, this building would go back up to what it was worth. The reason it was devalued was based on comps, meaning that max pull and supply.
Yeah.
At one point during pre-COVID, he was in escrow with Olive Terrace for $3.4 million.
Oh.
He did not have the patience to wait. He was a very old man. And then I would see him quite frequently, and he would say, hey, I just got an offer for $4.4 million, and I turned it down. We're going to get the values up in this neighborhood.
Interesting.
So when he passed away, the widow wanted out quickly.
Okay.
And they were just waiting to go in.
And that dropped.
And that dropped. It was not in evaluation. It's not, I don't know what appraisal. There was no appraisal by the Tolson Group on this area. An appraisal means an appraiser comes into your building and has to appraise the value. So that was this was not appraised. It was market value and comps.
Okay. Well, against my better judgment, I'm going to pull on the same thread that my big brother's pulling on. So there was a lot of talk on Tuesday night about, look, Jerry, you and Carl have made no bones about, you know, where you lie politically, and you've supported political candidates in this town for years, one of which is Jason Gibbs, who's currently running for Congress. And there was some insinuation that you had donated money to Jason recently purposefully to affect this deal and how the city votes on it. Can you talk about what the insinuation was and what the reality was?
Yeah, so we have very much and will be supporting Jason Gibbs. And so we gave him money, had no idea there was a new law passed in January that you can't do that, or we would have never done it. Jason did not know about it till 2 weeks ago. He came in and shared it with me. We were like, oh my gosh. I also gave money to Patsy's campaign.
Okay.
I'm going to call Patsy because that would be really bad, because that's two people recusing themselves, and Lorraine, who already recused herself, and you have to have three to pass the
They wouldn't have
project
been able
through.
to pass it.
Then the city would have had a lawsuit.
Sure.
So when we finally got everything settled with the Serrano Group, in the last year I've looked at 50 different locations. That's a lot. That takes me away from doing my job here.
Right.
When we knew that they were buying us, the contract had been signed, we wanted to get out. Having Jason not vote would have hurt us.
Right.
As it did.
Right.
So what was, talking out of both sides of the back end.
Maybe that's what he was smelling.
Exactly.
Oh, man.
But, he berated us in the meeting, I believe it was in May or June, for 45 minutes, got in a fight with Marcia. Just get it done. I'm from New York. We have projects all the time. Just get it done. Stop the nonsense. Get it done. Well, we did. And then he wanted to take it back to planning.
Wow.
Which then I already had found one location. We lost that because the city was delayed.
Right.
The city didn't know if this was going to planning or to city council.
Okay.
Because of Lorraine's shenanigans, they took it back to city council just to make it all legal. Because talking about smelling something that was a little off, that was one of those situations.
Okay. Very interesting. Not the way I was expecting to finish the show. So, Andrew, what are we doing? I know we're way past what we normally do.
Go ahead and do your thing.
Well, no, hang on. Stick around for trivia, Jerry.
no.
Oh, come on.
No way.
Okay. Yes.
Hey, I just want to say Big T was having a little bit of fun, and I appreciate Jerry coming in. I've known Carl and Jerry for a long, long time. I appreciate their dedication and their passion and their service to Santa Clarita. But more importantly, like we saw this morning, you saw someone with ethics and transparency, and Jerry, love you.
She
heard that.
If she were still here, she heard it. She would say she loves you too. She as soon as we said trivia, she was out the door. But as soon as you said Mayor Miranda, boy, she came in a hurry. So Andrew, how are we on time? What are we doing?
We're good.
All right. Apparently, Tony,
You have a couple of questions? Or
you
we
have
can end it?
been
It's up
able
you.
to preempt the in national and international news. So, are we doing trivia today or not?
It's entirely up to you. I got a couple that we can run by if you want. We could go by 4 or 5 questions, but man, don't tell Grandpa Steve that Fox News was preempted for Big T.
You know what? He might be impressed. He might be very angry. But yeah, let's just go ahead and roll with questions, and we'll figure it out. We got what, about 10 minutes?
Perfect.
Yeah, or we go 10 after.
Oh, we're going 10 after. Okay, you got about 4 minutes, T.
Perfect. What are the first names of the 5 brothers that made up the Jackson 5?
Oh, Frogger.
Frogger.
Do we do 1 point per name, or let's see? I got Tito. Everybody's favorite is Tito. Michael, Jermaine, and I think Connor and Bryce.
Yeah.
You got 3. Andrew, you got
I
anything?
had a Randy in there.
Oh, Randy Jackson.
You got Marlon and Jackie.
Okay.
Oh, no, Randy Jackson is the okay. Marlon and Jackie. Oh, God bless them.
Perfect. What's Taylor Swift's favorite number?
Andrew.
Oh, Frogger.
Okay.
Andrew.
I answered too quickly. 13.
There you go.
13 is correct. Did you hear the news this week about Taylor Swift, Matt? She's not going to be putting out any more albums?
No.
I did not hear that.
Yeah, well, she's getting married, and all of her songs are about toxic relationships. Ain't nobody want to buy an album about her wonderful love story. So until things go south with her and Kelsey, no more Taylor Swift music.
I'm gonna guess that's incorrect.
Okay, maybe so. I'll have to check on that. What kind of animal is Puxatawny Phil in?
Andrew.
Andrew?
Groundhog.
A groundhog is correct. What's the square root of 64?
Frogger.
And
8.
Frogger? 8 is correct. How many syllables are there in the word Mississippi?
Frogger.
I like how we just.
Go ahead.
Oh man, you haven't seen fingers come out that fast in the studio since the senior hour. I'm going with 4.
4 is correct. How many times have we passed the ball, Frogger?
4.
4, right.
Do I get another
How
point
many
for that?
sides does a No. How many sides does a pentagon have?
Andrew. 5.
Oh.
Andrew.
He
5.
got it. 5.
5 is correct. 5 is correct. How many inches are there in 7 feet?
Frogger.
Frogger.
84.
84. Yeah.
1 carry the
84 is
2.
correct. How many feet are there in 15 yards?
Frogger.
Yeah.
Frogger.
You buzz in first. Do the math later.
Yeah.
That would be 75. No.
Incorrect.
Oh, in yards, 45?
Yep.
45 is
Yeah,
correct.
there it is.
Which soft drink once contained cocaine as one of its
Andrew.
original ingredients? Andrew.
That'd be Coke.
It's
Cola.
the real thing.
Coca-Cola, the real thing. That would get blood off the side off the highway. The line, your mother was a hamster and your father smelled of
Frogger.
elderberries. Frogger.
The Holy Grail. Monty Python.
Monty Python and the Holy Grail. What popular condiment was once sold as medicinal cure for diarrhea?
Andrew. Mustard. Oh,
Incorrect.
Frogger.
Frogger.
Relish?
Incorrect. It's actually ketchup.
Really?
So as we head into your Labor Day weekend barbecues and you squeeze that ketchup, I want you to think that that was once a cure for diarrhea.
Okay. All right.
Especially when you get to the end of the bottle there.
All right. A stuffed toy who longs to become a real rabbit is the title character in what Marjorie Williams children's
Frogger.
book? Frogger.
The Velveteen Rabbit.
The Velveteen Rabbit.
We are tied at 5. We got time for one more question. Pressure's on.
Perfect. In accounting, the term ROI is often
Frogger.
used to describe financial.
Oh!
Frogger.
What was it?
No, I think Andrew got me.
Andrew?
Return on investment.
Return on investment.
We are educated boys. You can't slip that one past us. We do. Apparently, we do have to leave eventually, T. So, like I said, Andrew took me at the wire on that one, but I do want to thank you and thank our guests. We had the school director from iLead Agua Dulce, your free public charter school with that private educational experience in Agua Dulce. Wendy Maxwell, thank you, Wendy. Dennis Sugasawara and Jeff Stabile from the Veteran Services Collaborative. And our surprise guest this morning, co-owner of KHTS, Jerry Cerati Goldman. Big T, thank you. Producer Sarah, engineer Andrew, thank you very much. And thank you for listening. Remember, friends, life is hard, but we're all here to help each other along. Be well, do good, and be ready for surprises. And join us again next week and every Friday, 8 to 10 a.m. I am Matt Watson, and this is SCVi and iLead Schools Eye on the Valley on your hometown station, KHTS.